Many Americans still think of gambling as an outlaw industry, a world filled with gangsters and hustlers. But that image is changing.
Cocktail.
Gaming is one of the oldest professions in the world. Go back to the caveman days. They find it on the drawings and etchings on the walls of the caves. Gaming has been here for a long period of time.
And you expect it to become mainstream 10 years from now?
I think it's mainstream now.
Frank Fahrenkopf is an important man in Washington, the former chairman of the Republican National Committee, the co-chairman of last year's presidential debates. But he's not a public servant anymore.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
How are you?
Good to see you.
How you been?
You got a pretty good schedule for this meeting this afternoon.
Frank Fahrenkopf is the chief lobbyist for the gambling industry. Gambling has moved from the back rooms to the boardrooms, and it has a new name: gaming. It's classier, more respectable, downright American.
George Washington's army was clothed, and the rifles and bullets were bought with gaming revenue. That gaming revenue was from state lotteries put together. Well, they weren't state, they were colony lotteries that the 13 colonies put together to raise money to arm their civilians to fight the Revolutionary War. So, I mean, we probably wouldn't be here as a nation, perhaps, if the lotteries hadn't made that great contribution. So I see no problem with it.
You have to admire the Wall Street and the major corporations recognizing the potential of legalized gambling. And they recognize it, they bought the properties up, and they're just laughing all the way to the bank.
To the players, the corporations, the government, gambling looks like easy money. Quick fix, the big hit, easy money.
Yes! Oh, look at another 80.
It is the most popular form of adult entertainment, more popular than movies, sports, music, theme parks, and live entertainment combined.
Well, you forget everything in the whole world, and you're just thinking about the money.
Last year, the wagers totaled more than $500 billion, more than Americans spent on cars and houses combined.
It's the quick pay. You could be broke 1 minute with a quarter, and next time you put it in the machine, you could have money.
Red, white, and blue is the best slot machine.
The number of Americans who go to casinos has doubled in just the past 5 years.
We're not really looking for a big win, which we haven't found, but it's just something to do that's pleasurable.
Yes!
Oh yeah, if I win enough money, I could make all my dreams come true.
A lot of things that we were taught back 50 years ago is wrong. It's not wrong today. But we're having fun.
It used to be known as Sin City, a remote refuge for adult pleasures. Not anymore. Las Vegas is now America's fastest growing city, and it's not just for adults. The 30 million visitors a year include the whole family. It's one of the world's top destination locations. 11 of the 12 largest hotels in the world are within just a few blocks of each other. Las Vegas is now a mainstream resort. The same town that was once ruled by gangsters like Bugsy Siegel is now controlled by some of the nation's most respectable corporations.
The fact that Wall Street and the major corporations, ITT, Hilton, et cetera, MGM, have invested places an air of respectability. Gaming today is no different than going to the Metropolitan Opera. 20 years ago, gaming was a no-no.
Frank Lefty Rosenthal should know. Back when the wise guys ran Las Vegas, Lefty Rosenthal was one of the biggest men in town. Such a legend, in fact, that Robert De Niro played his character in the movie Casino. Rosenthal once ran 4 Las Vegas casinos at the same time. Today, he operates a sports bar in Boca Raton. To Lefty, the new corporate masters of Las Vegas don't really understand the business.
They understand the bottom line. I wouldn't think anybody at a high level of ITT has a clue about what gambling is all about.
Do they need to know the business to make money?
No, it's the only industry, to my knowledge, where you need not know anything. Nothing, zero.
I think companies like ITT, Caesars, MGM Grand have said, what are we? We are the entertainment business. Why not expand upon that? Why not be those destination resorts where more people are going to travel?
Terry Laney is the chairman and chief executive officer of MGM Grand Incorporated.
I think it's a part of why people want to be in this particular industry, because we are nothing other than an addition to the motion picture industry, to legitimate theater, to sporting events. We really encompass a lot of that within our own facilities.
There was a time when casinos could not get bank loans because of their shady associations. But now the mob is gone, tough regulation is in place, and loans from institutional investors are pouring in.
The pension funds who invest heavily in our business, I mean, the CalPERS, California Public Employee Retirement Fund, the Wisconsin State Teachers Pension Fund, the New York State Teachers Pension Fund are major investors in the publicly traded companies in this industry. If there's ever a time when they think there's something questionable about the regulatory process or the backgrounds of the people in positions within these companies, it is going to have a major effect on negatively impacting the availability of funding, which is the important factor for growing.
Today, Las Vegas has all the funding it needs. The growing popularity of gambling has triggered one of the most ambitious building booms in the history of entertainment. In Las Vegas alone, the industry plans to open $6 billion worth of new casinos over the next 2 years. And the competition to be the biggest and the flashiest is fierce.
That's the future of this industry. You build or perish.
Laney's company, MGM Grand, opened the first new casino this year, New York, New York.
It's the greatest city in Las Vegas.
The industry itself has gone out into the country and promoted itself and told other jurisdictions besides Nevada and New Jersey that this is an industry that can work in your community, that can bring prosperity to your community. It's not always the case, but with the message comes the notion it's a legitimate industry.
Bill Thompson is a professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He has been following the gambling industry's expansion to other parts of the country.
There are phenomenal profits to be made. So there is a business incentive that is driving the spread of gaming. Also, politicians are greedy for what they consider to be free money. They consider gambling tax like money falling off of trees. Well, it's not. It's money that comes out of people's pockets.
20 years ago, gambling was legal in only 2 states. Today, some form of gambling is legal in all but 2 states, Utah and Hawaii. You don't have to go to Las Vegas to gamble today. The action is coming to a town near you.
That's okay. These guys are predators. I really believe that they've targeted the poor, they've targeted the elderly, they've targeted our young, all for the sake of making money. These are bottom line guys, and I'll tell you, the more I see of them, the more dangerous they become.
Tom Gray knows his enemy. He spent the last 5 years on the road fighting the expansion of gambling. a Vietnam vet who served in the elite special forces, Gray is now a Methodist minister and the leader of the National Coalition Against Legalized Gambling. His latest fight, stopping a developer from building a gambling hall in the small town of Pittsburgh, California.
Gambling's a predatory enterprise that's come from the other side of the tracks and moved itself and put itself on Main Street. The way we move it off is at the ballot box, and Pittsburgh, California is a good place to do that. Good, let's go do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, good. The casino people said, we are the wave of the future, we are the force of history, we are inevitable. We will be within 2 hours of every American.
The people of Pittsburgh have been told that the casino will not only provide jobs, but more money to improve city services. Small towns find it hard to say no to what looks like easy money. But Tom Gray says as much as 5% of the local community is likely to become compulsive gamblers.
If you don't gamble, you're paying for it. You're paying for the losses of someone. We don't shoot families of compulsive gamblers, okay? We're a society that when someone loses everything, we take care of them. So can't have it both ways. The casino owners take the money, they maximize the profit, and they do nothing to minimize the pain, because you and I, as citizens, have to take care of that pain.
Hi.
Kim Guerrero is the leader of the campaign to stop the casino.
Yeah, is this about playgroup?
This is her first experience in grassroots politics.
Okay. All right, well, I'll talk to you as soon as I'm me again. Okay, bye. Playgroup for my daughter. They promised an elementary school, they promised a community park, they promised this great community, none of which has materialized. Instead, the plans have changed, and we're having a casino.
Kim's opponent is the developer who sold her home, Albert Sino. Sino refused to talk to Frontline. He has hired political consultants and telemarketing firms to promote the casino.
Right now, all of our focus is on raising money and getting information to the voters.
How did you do on the garage sale?
We raised just over $1,000. You want colors? Okay, hold on, just
I get a
ask.
great joy out of beating these guys with little money, but to know we beat them with garage sale money, really going to drive them crazy.
Tom Gray functions as advisor and cheerleader. He believes there's only one way to overcome gambling industry money: carry the battle house to house.
This is a good fight. I don't care what Albert Sino does. I don't care how much money he spends. He can't whip us.
I mean, you'll never get in a better fight than you're in now, and we've got him right where we want him. He's got to spend money. His greatest fear is what's happening in this living room now.
You need paper?
Yeah.
What you gonna make?
Good evening. Welcome to tonight's debate on Measure A. Measure A asks the voters of the city of Pittsburgh to approve the San Marco Casino and Convention Center.
The casino developer has won the support of the Chamber of Commerce and the local police.
And this will enable the department in the long term to have more money in the fund, the $1.2 million guaranteed, to staff those officers and that equipment.
Are we to grow more police? Is that the American dream? You bring something in that creates crime and then we hire more officers? I think we'd want to work the opposite direction, that less calls, less crime.
The debate over gambling is now being played out in small towns like Pittsburgh all across the country.
I hope the majority of the Pittsburgh citizens share our view on these issues and vote yes on Measure A. Thank you.
To me, what's beautiful about this fight is that they're either right and we're wrong, or we're right and they're wrong, because there is no in between. The snake oil they peddle is economic development, painless revenue source, and entertainment. They don't say, but a lot of you are going to lose your lives. A lot of you are going to lose your homes. We're saying it's not good economics, it's not good public policy, and it's not good for the quality of life.
For all the potential problems, it's hard to ignore the lure of easy money. James calls himself a gambler, but he doesn't go to Las Vegas very often. he doesn't have to. The action is right around the corner. His favorite play is the most popular form of gambling in the country, the one that has endorsed and legitimized gambling for everyone. James plays the lottery. His bookmaker is the state of California.
Thanks, sir. Okay, you got 10? Yeah. $100, right? 34 good. You know, on the one I bought, you know, the other day before I left? Remember I had 3? I said I hit 3?
Well, you went home.
Yeah, I went home. It was 104. You gonna come and sit down? No. But I spend 300 a week. I average about 300 a week. And maybe a little more if I hit. Well, I play birthdays, nieces, nephews, stuff like that. It works, yeah, sure. And I play license plates on the 3-digit. Like tonight, I play my old license plates, new license plates. I noticed that triples come out more on the weekends. Weekends, I play the triples only. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, all the way down to 999. So it costs me $30 a weekend. And if you do it all year, it costs you $1,560 for the year, for the weekend. We miss a lot. He missed yesterday by one. I missed one by one number yesterday. I had 3.
Gamblers like James miss almost all the time. Lotteries have the worst odds of any legal bet, unless you run the game. The state of California makes more than $1 billion a year from its lottery.
Okay, now we're back for 10 more. That wasn't too bad.
One time it was 117 million. We missed one number. Believe me, when you hit, you think you are 18 years old. You don't worry for nothing tomorrow. No for bills, no for this, no for that. But you have to play for it. If you don't play how you want to
Ali,
play.
run them
That's
through.
it. Yeah, get this one. Yeah.
Like most states, California is struggling with how to properly control and regulate this rapidly spreading industry. Legal gambling in the state amounts to a $16 billion a year business, and it's still growing. This operation is known as a card room. There are almost as many card tables in California as there are in Las Vegas. But unlike Nevada, where gambling is strictly regulated, there is no state regulation of California card rooms.
On this game right here, these people are playing against each other, right?
Unfortunately, that player lost looked like about $1,000.
$1,000.
This is a fact-finding team from the California State Legislature.
We're open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
For the past 5 years, the legislature has been working on a law to regulate card rooms, with little success. Critics charge that unregulated gambling halls are fertile ground for all sorts of criminal activity, from money laundering to drug deals.
Everything sleazy in gambling is happening in the card rooms. There's lots of loose money. There's cheating at the games. It's unregulated. If money laundering and loan sharking is going on, that just hypes the business. If the drug people must come to the tables and pass the money around, that just means more people are sitting at the table and the casino is making more money. There is no concern.
So the card room benefits from criminal activity, you're saying?
Oh, certainly, because it is something that will boost their business. And you bring all the people to one site, they sit there, the casino takes its cut, everybody's happy. They are providing a place for money laundering and deals to be made, and so they benefit. So the casino's not concerned about whether the game's honest, then there is no state government regulation in California. It's a formula for disaster.